Get ready for the Joe Morley Sports Show. Hello, folks, and welcome to the Joe Morley Sports Show. I'm Joe Morley, and today I'm going to talk to you about a couple plans, or one of the plans that the Major League Baseball has to start up again. I'm going to talk about Joey Votto, the Cincinnati Reds slugger. I'm going to talk about Brett Favre and his take on the Packers drafting Jordan Love and what he thinks Aaron Rodgers will do. But first, let me get some business out of the way. If you haven't been following me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, why not? Why not? Go out there right now. It's okay. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. Go do it. I'm waiting. All right. Follow me for up-to-date information. If pro football players like Khalil Mack and Josh Jacobs, Trevor Bauer, the Major League Baseball pitcher, Jim Duque from the front office of MLB offices. Who else? A lot of other players are following me already, or watching my stories and looking at what I'm doing. Why aren't you? You got to ask yourself that. I must be doing something right if these guys are coming out and watching me. So spread the word. Spread the word about my podcast, especially to some of these annoying Cowboy and 49er fans. I love those weak fans coming at me with their bandwagon thoughts, you know. If you know any Astro fans, bring them on too. I'm always thinking that I'm watching an episode of Maury, when he did his shows about cheating and stuff. So I like when the Astro fans try to come out here and defend how they're cheating. Red Sox, Yankee fans, they're all welcome. So send everybody my way. We'll make the show better, and we'll all have a great time. All right, so if you have been following me on social media, you saw that I asked everybody what their thoughts on Cincinnati first baseman Joey Votto was, and if they thought if he was already or if he could and will be a Hall of Famer. Joey Votto's 36 years old, so he could probably play another 2, maybe 3 years. 4 at the most. I think that 4th year might be stretching it, but he'll add to the numbers that he already has. So as of right now, here's Joey Votto's stat line. As of right now in his career stat line, he's a 307 average batting average hitter. That's very good. If you know about it, if you know about baseball, you know that 307 is actually really, really good. He has 284 home runs, 944 RBIs, and an on-base percentage of .421, which is really, really good. He has 1,866 hits, 404 doubles, 79 stolen bases. He's a 6-time All-Star and a Gold Glove in 13 seasons. So the reason I focus more on home runs, RBIs, and hits is because that's what it seems like the Hall of Fame voters look at and they focus on. They don't really look at how good he is, how good the team is without him, how he would do on other teams, compare him to this or that. They look at numbers and numbers only. It seems like it's really unfair, especially in the case of a guy like Joey Votto. Joey Votto has been on the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, the Cincinnati Reds aren't known for winning, lately, of course. They were good at one time, but right now they're not really known for winning. So it's not like he's been on a lot of great teams or had a lot of great teammates. And I'm sure there's a lot of fair weather baseball fans out there, people that just tune in for certain games that don't even know who Joey Votto is. And that's the sad part, because this is one of the best players that's been playing first base for a while. His best teammate, I think, was Adam Dunn a couple years ago. And it's not like Adam Dunn ever hit for average. All he was a home run or not. Votto isn't going to get into the Hall of Fame. He's not going to get a lot of Hall of Fame votes and a lot of love from the committee just because of his numbers as of right now. But let's do some comparisons. So who's already in the Hall of Fame? Who's the first baseman that's all in the Hall of Fame? Jeff Bagwell, Frank Thomas, Jim Thome. All are in the Hall of Fame. You know them. Most of, if not all of baseball fans should know them. And if you don't know who they are, these guys are Hall of Famers. And if you call yourself a baseball fan, you need to get to know them. Frank Thomas, Big Hurt. Everybody knows him. Is now doing commercials to help men in the bedroom, right? So if you need something with him, call Frank Thomas, and he'll help you out. So he's the Hall of Famer. Frank Thomas played 19 years in the big leagues. He put up numbers. 301 batting average, 521 home runs, 1,704 RBIs with an on-base percentage of .419, a 2-time MVP, 5-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger, a batting title, and a Major League Player of the Year. That's Frank Thomas. That's Hall of Fame numbers, right? So he's clearly was one of the best of his times. Jeff Bagwell, the Houston Astros. I don't really like talking about the Astros right now, but I have to compare Jeff Bagwell, and he wasn't part of it. But I will say that is another topic for another time. And just that the Astros should be lucky that COVID-19 is keeping the fans away from booing them right now. Anyways, Jeff Bagwell, 15 years in the league, 297 batting hitter average. He compiled 444 home runs, 1,529 RBIs with an on-base percentage of 408. He was a 4-time All-Star, Gold Glove, Rookie of the Year, Major League Player of the Year, 3-time Silver Slugger. That's not bad, right? So let's compare him to another guy, Jim Thome. Jim Thome's another guy in the Hall of Fame. 279 batter. That's a 279 batting average for Jim Thome, 612 home runs, 1,699 RBIs, and a 402 on-base percentage in 22 years. 22 years. That's a long time. Just going 22 years is impressive enough, right? Jim Thome in 22 years. In those 22 years, he was a 5-time All-Star and a 1-time Silver Slug Award winner. So comparing Joey Votto to those three guys, he's better than them in batting average. He isn't there with the home runs, which is okay. Joey Votto isn't known for being that big bopper, the big home run guy. We don't expect 40 home runs a season from him. The RBIs, though, that's probably what's going to hold Joey Votto down right now. It's not his fault. If you're on a team, if your teammates can't get on base, then who are you going to knock in? He can't knock in ghost runners, you know what I mean? So how can you blame and punish Joey Votto for his teammates being sorry or sucking on the field and not allow him to drive them in? So I think if Joey Votto can reach 1,000 RBIs, which should be easy for him, if he can keep his average above, let's say 298, maybe 300, keep it around that area, I think he should be a Hall of Famer. I mean, every team would love a guy like Joey Votto. In some years, you could say that he was the best first baseman in all of Major League Baseball. He plays first base every day. Frank Thomas and Jim Thome got to DH, which was lucky for them. So, of course, that got to help them and prolong their career, and they didn't have to put their bodies on the line, on the field. Joey Votto is an excellent defender, and people overlook that. So if Votto continues doing what he's doing and he doesn't go through a bad slump and we have to get him a slump buster and do all that, he should be a Hall of Famer. So just go through there, and I put a poll up there, and I believe 70% of people agreed with me that Joey Votto should be a Hall of Famer. Okay, so now on Instagram and Facebook, I've been putting up my baseball predictions for this upcoming season. I did it by standings. I made these before the draft and before I thought COVID-19 would force sports world upside down. But you guys have heard, I don't know if you guys have heard this, Major League Baseball is in talks to try to start up in the middle of June, sometime before July. Then they want to do something like play in only 2 or 3 states. And I think those 3 states would be like Florida, Texas, and Arizona. And they would play inside of empty stadiums. And sometimes in those empty stadiums, they would have like three games a day. I mean, could you imagine that? 3 games a day. I mean, there wouldn't be any fans inside the stadiums. So it'd be easy to do and easy to get the teams in and out. So imagine that. The Astros are getting helped out again. I wonder if Major League Baseball will be able to put some artificial booze in there for when the Astros take at bats. But if that's not all, no fans are going to be in the stadiums, and so nobody's going to have home field advantage. And Major League Baseball is talking about not only doing it in those 3 states, they're talking about splitting up the divisions. So they would make for this season only 3 divisions. So what would those 3 divisions be, right? That's what you got to ask yourself. How are you going to divide those 3 divisions, and what are you going to do? And of course, they will have to do something with the postseason. So get this: Major League Baseball is talking about an East Division, a Central Division, and a West Division. So you'll see matchups that you don't normally see. Like let's take the East Division. It will consist of the Yankees and the Mets. How about that, New York? And then you add Boston, Washington, the Orioles, Phillies, Pittsburgh Pirates, Toronto Blue Jays, and Tampa Bay, and then the Miami Marlins. That would be your East Division right there. So, yeah, wow. Make it easy for the Yankees, right? The Yankees would run away with that division. I mean, you thought the AL East was easy. Now you give the bottom teams in all of Major League Baseball to the Yankees in one division. Okay, Boston fans, you're going to say that your team could be good, but let's face it. They won't be. Chris Sale's out with the Tommy John surgery. Your best player is now in LA. So the Yankees and Tampa Bay Rays will own this division. So next would be the Central Division. I'm guessing this would be in Texas. All these games would take place in Texas. The Central teams would be the Cubs, the White Sox, the Brewers, the Cardinals, the Royals, the Reds, the Indians, Twins, Braves, and Tigers. Now, this looks like an interesting division, right? I think the Braves and the Reds are good-looking teams. The Braves are an up-and-coming and young team that could be making a push to being one of the best in the National League. I like Acuna and Albies are a great pair along with Freeman, so I like the Braves a lot. The Reds' pitching staff is outstanding. Trevor Bauer leading the way. The Twins, of course, will make a push for the top of this division. This division looks a little bit more fair and a little bit more even than that little East division of helping the Yankees out and giving the Yankees versus all the crappy teams, basically. I would say the Reds, Twins, and Braves, and maybe the Cardinals will rise to the top of this Central division. Okay, folks, this is where it gets fun. This is the so-called West division. Most of you probably already been keeping track in your head, and yes, you guessed it. The Astros and the Dodgers would be in this division. Alex Wood from the Dodgers was talking about how he would throw at the Astros if he got a chance. Well, guess what? Here will be your chance. But the only bad part of this is none of us will be able to take a seat and watch it. And just like anything else in Major League Baseball, I think the Dodgers will bow down and kiss the Astros' butt and move on, and nothing will happen of it. So you got the Dodgers, the Astros, then you add the Angels, the Giants, the Padres, the A's, Diamondbacks, Rockies, Rangers, and the Mariners. You want to talk about a great division. I mean, look at this. This would be one of the division I would probably focus on the most. Dodgers, Giants, Dodgers, Angels, Dodgers versus anybody, basically. Giants, A's, Astros versus... I'll take the Astros versus anybody. I'll watch Astros versus anybody in this division. The A's are a good team. I believe the Angels have gotten better. The Dodgers, of course, are one of the great teams of this year. The Astros should be good. I thought they were going to struggle just because all the crap they would have to take on the road and all the distractions. But that won't be there with no crowds and nothing there. They won't have that distraction, so they should be as good as they normally are. I would say the Dodgers, A's, and Astros, and possibly the Angels would be at the top of this West division. I just hope that the Astros, eventually get what they have coming. I have a lot more to talk about that, and I have to bring up. I'd probably have to talk about that in another episode. But with these three divisions, I don't know what Major League Baseball has decided for postseason. They haven't talked about that. But you think about this. This World Series could be the first World Series that doesn't feature a National League versus American League matchup, which could be, pretty crazy if you think about that. And that would be, so I don't know what you guys' thoughts on the three divisions, but that would be interesting. And at least having baseball back will be better than having no baseball at all, right? So I've been very, very vocal and pretty vocal about this, about the Packers taking Jordan Love. I said how ESPN and Chris Mortensen said Jordan Love will need to sit for a couple years, and he wasn't ready. After saying he was ready to beat out Derek Carr and others for their spot, well, I said it, if there isn't a quarterback controversy in Green Bay, there should be one. Well, Hall of Fame quarterback and former Green Bay Packer Brett Favre seems to favor my thinking. He recently did an interview with Rich Eisen, and he said he remembers being in the same situation as Aaron Rodgers when the Packers selected Aaron Rodgers when Brett Favre was still the quarterback. We all know how that ended up. Well, Brett said the Packers definitely burned a bridge with Rodgers, and this has to get the gears going in Aaron's head. And Favre said he doesn't see Aaron Rodgers finishing his career in Green Bay. Well, duh! Matt LaFleur saw something last year in Aaron Rodgers and said, enough is enough. You don't go and draft, a quarterback in the first round if you don't think you're going to make a change pretty soon. Aaron Rodgers can play this one or two ways. If you think about it, he could come in, be cool about it, work hard, go about his business, and stay the starter for a year, maybe two, and eventually make Green Bay look like the bad guys as they get rid of him on their own and trade him, release them, or do whatever they can. Or Aaron Rodgers can come in now, force the issue, be the guy, and cause the problem, and say, hey, I'm not here looking for a competition. You guys brought the guy in. You guys did this. And, he's a 15-year veteran, a Super Bowl champion, and he really shouldn't have to be worrying about his job. Aaron Rodgers can come in and tell the Packers he wants out, and he wants out now. He's already made his money, so what's going to stop him from holding out? Do I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to hold out? No, probably not, because I think he still loves the game of football. But everyone knows that the front office, the coaching staff, the media, the fans, Jordan Love, his teammates, everyone knows that Rodgers isn't and can't be happy with the Jordan Love pick. So if Rodgers spoke out and said he wanted out, release me, trade me, would anybody, would anybody go out and blame him? I mean, I wouldn't take the Brett Favre route and send pictures out to people, But guess who needs a quarterback? New England Patriots. Would the Chargers be interested? I know they just drafted Herbert, but you could sit Herbert for a year or two and let him learn. Chicago Bears, but Green Bay wouldn't send him in the division. We all know that. I think there would be more suitors for Aaron Rodgers than there was for Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady really only had 2 suitors in this offseason when he was a free agent. So I think that Green Bay is going to eventually have to do something with the Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love situation, and I've been saying that. So it's going to get pretty interesting, and just to have Brett Favre back in that and knowing the same thing and saying the same thing that I'm saying, that it's going to get bigger than it will, and Green Bay eventually will have to make a move. So that's all I have to for today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, the 3 Major League Baseball, divisions are going to be very interesting. It's going to be something, but I will take any sports right now. It's been a long time without sports. So anyways, stay healthy, my friends. Stay healthy. Stay healthy, my friends. Stay